We all know that art can be very relaxing, but today I'm going to try a therapeutic art technique that's supposed to help with stress and anxiety. Of course, we'll be adding some fun and easy techniques to make it even more stunning. Just you wait and see the final result at the end. Welcome to my channel. Welcome all my patrons, subscribers and you lovely visitors. So today we are going to do something totally unusual. If you are here for the first time and you don't know it, I am an art teacher by day, a YouTuber usually by night, and I do get inspired by the work that I do with my students. The last project I did with one of my year groups was neurographic art. It's such a wonderful method of drawing that is supposed to transform your stress, your emotions into some beautiful flowing unconscious patterns. They look like neurons. I think it was developed by a Russian psychologist. And I'm sure all of you have tried some mindless doodling. It's very therapeutic. It's not only creative, but it really helps you calm down, release stress, and generally it's fun. I want to try if we can do it on a canvas to actually have a really nice canvas. So very often creators use watercolors to prepare background for neurographic art. When I was looking online, there's so many artists using this technique. I came across this channel. There's an artist called Gabrielle Cormier Art, and she creates some beautiful neurographic designs. I showed a very short clip to my student. It was very inspiring. But I'm going to do it obviously my way. I'm preparing background. As I said before, most people would go with watercolors on paper. I personally haven't seen people doing it on canvas. I went for my favorite colors. You do what you like. So Wedgwood blue. I'm going to make a mess with colors. That's it. I want a quick, I would say, watercolor-like soft background. I'm not thinking now. I'm treating it as a part of a relaxing process. And I can blot some paint just to create a different texture. It's dry in no time. I do like those makeup brushes. You can blend the colors so well. So I'm going to add a little bit of darker tone. Water will help you blend the color in. And of course white is perfect for creating this atmospheric nice blend. So I do want a little bit of more drama on my painting. Some of this. My brush is still dirty, so that gives me a little bit of a purple hue here. How about some more crazy purple for a change? Oh, all right. I'm liking it. It's different to this pink. I basically eat titanium white. I use it for everything. I love mixing all my colors with titanium white. Okay, we've got this. You know what? I think I am kind of happy. Right up my alley. The colors. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm getting it dry and then we'll see what the next stage will be. The background is getting dry. I'm going to tell you what we did with my students. So this time we were discussing abstract art, among other things. They were creating an abstract piece using watercolors first. The follow-up was creating an abstract background on Procreate, digital abstract background. And in the end, that's the neurographic exercise I did with them. So they're very young students. They're only 12, but I think those pieces, this is unfinished. This one is almost finished. They both decided to add lots of dots in the end, but I think they are looking pretty stunning. So we will be adding circles here, but because I've painted the background with acrylic paint, I have many options. So first of all, I can just paint a circle, however many circles I want, with my acrylic paint. I can also cut some circles out, colorful paper, tissue, as we did, and stick it down using Mod Podge. That's another option. But for this one, let me do a couple of circles using anything round. I have to think, where do I want to position my circles? Some of them can be off canvas, some of them can be just bang in the middle. So I really want something big here. That's why I put so much white. You know, I'm a great believer in easy and quicker solution possible. Probably because I always have to think of ways that will be easier for my students and allow the ones who struggle to produce some beautiful outcomes. So that's my suggestion. Just I'm going to cut the circle out of this. It's going to be perfect. All I want is the outside. So so I'm not going to bother with the inner part. What do I mean by negative space? The outside of the object. This is frisket paper, so it's a low tack adhesive paper. Where position my baby here? Okay. Now I left the space here for a bigger one. I made a massive one. Oh, something here, or maybe it's enough. Third one. I'm only doing dubbing because I do not want the paint to seep underneath. Adding some darker color. Maybe even a different color. Let me see. What about this one? That's quite an unexpected blue. Let's go for a different color here as well. It is a violet blue. Okay. Let's go. Oh, this is very dark. I make it too dark. There's a solution. Of course, we are going to use white. A little bit of blending because the edges were very harsh. Let's remove those. I could have gone with one color, but I kind of like this crazy background. And I thought the planets will look cute like this. You know what? A part of me thinks this is quite a cute artwork. I could leave it. I like it. But of course we're going to do relaxing neurographic art, so I am going to proceed. I could use a Sharpie, but because I was painting everything, I am going to use Posca pen. And I'm going to outline my circles. Yeah, it's going to be dramatic because I'm outlining it with black. Sharpie would be thicker and maybe easier. Okay, now I'm going to use a Sharpie. I don't know how it's going to work on canvas because it's a little bit bumpy, but hopefully it's going to be all right. And this is the most relaxing part. You should not be thinking where and how. It's just follow your gut. If I can say about the rule, the only rule is that the lines have to be never ending. So you can't finish the line halfway through. It has to go through the whole painting to infinity and beyond.
To infinity and beyond!
Ta-da! One. We will have some intersections, and that's desirable. I added 2 lines, and I got the Kandinsky vibes, don't you? How many lines we want? Yeah. Ta-da! So keep going till you are satisfied and you think that's it. Okay, now rule number 2. Checking each intersection. Yes, so by intersection I mean any place your lines cross. And now there are 2 words that my students were not familiar with. Concave and convex. Now which one is which? So concave curves inwards. That's what we need. We're going to fill it up this way. Some of my students found it incredibly difficult. I don't know, they couldn't see the difference in a way. They kept doing this, like that. And it did not look good in the end. So I kept telling them, okay, if you make a mistake, fill it up, make it bigger. Make it like this. Make it longer, thicker, and fix it like this. Not this one, that one. Again, inward curves, not going outward. That's what I'll be doing. And now this is the time to put music on, put the podcast on, and relax. Breathe deeply. Make them longer. If you want more black, you make them bigger, longer. Absolutely up to you. So every corner which is created, you're going to fill it up as well. I can use Posca or I can use a Sharpie. Absolutely up to you. You will notice that it looks also quite nice when you make those lines thicker in places. So for example, if it's coming from my intersection, I'm going to make it thicker and extend it all the way here. So that's part of my line is actually much thicker. But I keep going. Also, you will notice that the shape inside will resemble an oval, or sometimes a circle, an oval. So sometimes you can actually draw a circle and then fill it all around. We've got an interesting intersection here. It's quite a lot happening. So lots of curves. Getting close to finish. I thoroughly enjoyed it. They absolutely look like some pearls, don't they? Either this way or this way. Can't decide. Personally, I like dots. I like lots of dots, so I am going to add some dots to black sections, bigger, smaller. I'm using the tip of my brush, and this is pouring acrylic. Of course, you can use Posca pens, you can use any other markers that will work as well. Press harder, you'll get a bigger blob. If you just touch it gently, you have a little. I finished my dots. I'm in a bit of a pickle now. I do like it so crisp and gentle, but there's part of me that wants to test what would happen if I added some other patterns. And I'm torn. I would like to shade the areas not on my spheres but in the background. What if it goes wrong and then I won't be happy? I have to try. If I regret it, I'll make another piece. I could have shaded just using a brush all those sections with paint, but this is all about doodling and neurographic art, so I don't want to do it. Instead of shading with a brush and paint, I'm going to shade using stippling technique. I'm sure you've heard about it, but I haven't done it on my channel. I haven't done anything like this on my channel ever, so let's try. So I am going to add lots of little black dots. So stippling technique, you add lots of little dots, but they are more dense closer to the edge. As you can see, they are actually very close. They're almost one on top of the other. So I'm overlapping some of them here, definitely. And then the further they go, the more sparse they become, and that creates the illusion of a shadow. Okay, again, this is really mindless. You don't think about it, you just add those dots. So perfect time to relax, listen to something positive, of course. Once I'm getting away from my sphere, the dots becoming more sparse. What do you think? I don't think I'm going to do it everywhere. I'm going to just add it underneath my spheres to create an illusion of some more depth. I'm adding a few white drops just for fun. They're hardly seen, but I wanted them on top of my spheres a little bit to show that the spheres are glowing. This is a white gel pen. I'm happy with the outcome, really. So I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to varnish it, and maybe I want to add some shimmer to the globes. How about that? I am going to add, you know what, mica powder. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll see. So I've got cotton white, I've got crystal white I'm going to use, and two color shift bubblegum glow and periwinkle glow shimmers like blue. So if I cover it like this, will I get any shimmer? Something. Oh, no, you can see. I was hoping it's going to be more seen. Can put tons. Oh. Try this one. I'm sure there'll be something seen. Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed. Is there, like here? Oh, okay. Ah, yeah. When you look at an angle, now it shimmers. All right. So that was the blue. Now I'm going to add a bit of purple to the purple. If you enjoyed this super relaxing one, please let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out my Patreon for extended versions of my tutorials. And of course you can own this piece or any other of my original art if you go to my website, abcreativeofficial.com. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all next week. Bye bye!